Yesterday, for the first time, Perplexity released full access to its search API. Let's dive into it together. Now, this API is actually pretty significant because up until this point, Perplexity has kept their search algorithm for how they actually crawl the internet entirely proprietary. It's pretty cool to see them go out on a limb like this because most other companies aren't actually exposing their underlying search infrastructure. It seems like the real objective here is to solve the core problem that most AI companies are running up against right now, which is that information is stale. And so they go through and as a service, they index the entire internet. Right off the bat, one of the first things that you notice whenever you're looking at their documentation is the pricing. And the pricing, in my opinion, is very fair. It's a flat $5 per 1,000 requests. The API is very simple. I use the Python SDK and really you input a query, you can give a limit, a number of links that you want back. Unfortunately, you're actually limited only to 20. The response format, whether you choose 5, 10, 20 responses, what have you, is also very simple. There's a title, there's a URL, there's a snippet, there's a date, and there's last updated. So the other notable thing here is that it is a pretty simple API interface. You're not going to get an entire web page of output. You would still need to actually link to that external web page. So you would still need to use something like a Firecrawl if you wanted to scrape the information out of that page. But the snippet tends to be pretty informative. One strange thing with the snippets are that there's actually a lot of variance in how long they are. I don't know if that's an accident or if it's just the information they have access to. One thing that's really clear to me is that as LLM tech becomes cheaper and cheaper, inherently more and more people will start using it. It'll become more and more accessible. And I think what Perplexity is actually trying to do in this situation is they're trying to set themselves up to be the rails where knowledge is the biggest challenge right now building in the space. They're going to try to make the knowledge very accessible to the average app builder. I think it's a really smart move, and a world where there's more cool ideas and more cool people building interesting stuff is a world I want to live in. So I think it's a pretty cool product.